Hello, welcome all to this K-pop podcast. I hope you're all well. In this podcast today, I just wanted to discuss some things that have happened in K-pop or that have piqued my interest, and things that I'm looking forward to, mixed in with some, potentially unpopular opinions. But let's just see how it goes. Well, first up, nctdream news. As you may know, nctdream will be releasing their new album on the 28th of March. It's a follow-up to Hot Sauce, which was phenomenally successful. It definitely made me and many others a fan, with Hello Future being just an unbelievable song. And I think it really displayed both Haechan and Ranjan's vocal talent beyond measure, as if resonance wasn't even enough. But yes, their new album will be called Glitch Mode, and today they released individual teasers. What do you think about their hairstyles and colours? Obviously, pink-haired Jeno is a joy, and Ranjan's somewhat little boy yet manly haircut kind of suits him. I believe the title song is being produced by the same guy who made EXO's Obsession, which to me signals that SM really aren't playing around. And I think SM really want to make sure that Hot Sauce wasn't just a fluke to fans and to the public on NCT Dream's behalf, and that they're basically here to stay. This is a group to watch out for from now on. So that's cool. I'm really excited for their comeback. And of course, I do have an inkling, although Wavy are currently on holiday, that Wavy will be the next NCT subunit to have a comeback after Dream. And that will include Lucas's return. I'm sure Winwin will be involved because SM really want to keep the fans on their side. So if you're going to introduce someone as inflammatory or divisive as Lucas, then you need Winwin to calm everyone down. So yes, I'm looking forward to NCT Dream's comeback, of course. And in terms of EXO news, on the same day, SM also released the name for my leader, Kim Junmyeon, or Suho's second album comeback, titled Grey Suit. It's quite funny because for me, Suho has always felt like a 40-year-old man trapped in a young man's body, which I think Kun from Wavy has that same vibe and energy, which I really like. I like it when a leader has that sort of old man calming energy. It's a nice gentle maturity. But it's quite fitting then for the album to be titled Grey Suit. I think it has quite a mature vibe, and I think it goes along quite well with Suho's easy listening voice. He has a soft and gentle voice, so I think it'll be an album that kind of suits more cafe music, which is fine because I can listen to it in the background while I work. And the picture itself looks very autumnal, so once again it brings that calming energy. I mean, do I wish that every EXO member releases albums like Kai and Baekhyun? Yes, but that's because it's simply my taste. I'm glad that SM artists who do solos seemingly get to lean into the actual genre that they prefer to sing in, rather than what they have to do in a group. Even if it doesn't always suit my taste, I'm happy that it makes them happy. And speaking of, just if we're talking about EXO, I don't know why, but I do think that if Xiumin releases a solo album, which I will discuss in a moment, I think that genre will be more R&B/hip-hop. I could be wrong. It could be totally melancholic and just a total ballad-saturated album, but I think Xiumin does kind of enjoy hip-hop, in my opinion, so we'll see. Speaking of Xiumin, he has now wrapped up his Hades musical, so either he'll be prepping for his solo album, which I could imagine is happening as we speak, or he's already gone into EXO comeback prep, as we will be having an EXO comeback, which I'm so excited for. Suho confirmed it on a live where he was discussing his own solo. He told EXO fans to be patient as EXO is preparing something for them. So that's wicked. I'm very excited. I honestly thought Kai would have to leave straight after Peaches, and Sehen of course. But hey, if SM want to squeeze in another solo album for Kai and an EXO comeback from him, who am I to complain? I mean, I want EXO content all the time, so I'm very happy. Oh, by the way, I do have a Kai album analysis video if you want to hear more about my thoughts, which will be linked below. Anyways, I would assume that SM would wait for Chen to come out of the military before releasing an EXO album. That's just my guess, since Baekhyun is in the military, and EXO usually requires 2 out of the 3 main vocalists for each comeback to be present. So I think it'll be a Suho solo, then a Schumann solo, and then an EXO comeback to make time for Chen to return and prepare. And then a Kai album just cutting so close to the wire before he has to go to the military with Sehun. I mean, I'm guessing Sehun will go at the same time as him. Technically, Sehun has a few more months between Kai going and him going his birthday, so we'll see. I'm actually not sure if Sehun will release a solo album himself or a single. I think it depends what he wants. He might just get another acting gig. He could get like a big drama role, possibly, you know, being the main character instead of supporting, but we'll see. In other news, comeback news, Straykids will be having their comeback soon on March the 18th, and oh boy, have their song teasers been good. It's a mini album called Oddinary, I believe, so I'm guessing the other half of the album will be released at the end of the year. They all look great, and I'm honestly so happy that Straykids go so hard and create this so-called noise music, as people like to call it. I like the rap, I like how hard they go, and it's such great music to listen to while I work out, although their softer songs like Airplane is very good and underrated in my opinion, and it kind of shows the range that Straykids have, their diversity. They can create rap songs and softer songs, or like mesh both into one song, which is really cool. It reminds me of BTS and how especially in their earlier days they could create songs that ranged from Not Today to Coffee to Just One Day. Very cool, and I really like that style. But in terms of Straykids comeback, obviously this coincides with their world tour, since it means Straykids will be able to tour and perform their new songs, which will be exciting. And I want to touch upon the fact that JYP are pumping a lot of money into Straykids. Now we know JYP are one of the big 3, or at least 4 K-pop companies, but still, for their standards, this is very expensive. The high quality teasers for each song and the production quality overall in my mind kind of shows how JYP are really banking on Straykids and gambling on this album to really be a big deal and hit it big with the international, namely American, audience. I was speaking to a Korean friend yesterday who actually told me Koreans don't really listen to Straykids and that they're not as big as we would assume in Korea per se. But to be honest, I don't think Straykids have ever been targeted towards a Korean audience as much as they have been to an American or foreign audience. And I think this comeback kind of shows that it felt very international to me, which I don't mind at all. But if I'm thinking with my business hat on, I do think that JYP are really hoping, like BTS, that Straykids will be able to break into the international market this year, like in a big way. And I'm all for it. I hope they do really well. I mean, they have members, and not just one member, who speaks English, and so it's a bit of a waste not trying to get them to break out into the US. And I think their music is genuinely good and should be heard by a wider audience, and also their visuals are different and unique. They look like a ragtag group running around causing mayhem, and they have this sort of fresh and excited energy. They want to make it big, and I don't think they'll stop working hard until they do, regardless of coming from JYP or not. So good luck to them, and I really hope I don't have to eat my words. I really hope this album has tune after tune after tune. So that's it for this week's K-pop podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to know what you think and what your opinions are on the matters I've discussed, and let me know what you'd like me to talk about on the next episode. I'll see you in the next one.